next we're going to bring up the lovely Cody. Everybody give it up for Cody. Hell yeah.
Ow, that hurt my hands, Cody. You better be happy.
I'll try. I bet.
We should call that number in the bathroom. It could be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave my camera on, and I'll call it, and it'll probably don't touch it. That's what she said to you too, I bet. Anyway.
Sit and spin.
Okay, I'll do that next time. Hey, let's hear it for the bartenders. Let's hear it for them.
No, that's Sandra.
That was good, but more importantly, let's hear it for you for being here tonight. Let's hear it louder. Let's hear that. You're here. Why not be celebrated about it? So, all right. So first off, last week's set, although it was funny, I heard it may jeopardize livelihoods. My words and actions were not thought through to their real-world conclusion, and for that, I deeply regret and do apologize. My only intentions on this stage is to make people laugh, so I ask for any forgiveness for any harm done. With that being said, this week we're going to have a nice, safe set. That's what we're going to do. So I'll just go ahead and read off the titles of it. First one is Sam bleeding out his ass, allergic to dicks, the coworker dating the blind, and anyway, so I thought that'll be safe. Those can't offend anybody, can it? So anyway, but no, actually these are just jokes that never made any other set. So I just threw them in there. I'm like, you know what, we're gonna make that compilation album. You know, every band's bad album. That's what this is. So I'm stick through it. Anyway, but no, so I we have people who work here, don't we? Right? There's workers here. We all have coworkers. And my coworker, he called out sick for about a week. I thought, you know, I know he's got a little Crohn's disease or something like that, and whatever. He finally shows up to work, and I can overhear him talking to somebody else kind of quietly. And mind you, I've known this guy forever. I mean, we've worked two different jobs together, oddly enough. Like about 10 years I've known him. He actually signed my marriage license, you know, so he's a friend. I can say all this. I've said this to his face, so, but I said, so what was wrong? What happened? He says, man, I was bleeding out my asshole for like 3 days. And I went, okay. And I lean in, sit on the counter. I said, it's just us. Tell me. It's just us. We've known each other a long time. You've signed my marriage license. You're bleeding out your ass. Can you just, a little Vaseline, just seal it up, all good? I mean, I don't know. He's that guy at work. He gives you great tips on relationships and living. And then you're like, I don't think I've ever seen you in a relationship. You know, he's that guy. He's the expert on it. So, anyway, and I told him, okay, well, since it was the Crohn's disease and all your intestines and whatever shit you got going on, I'm using this in my set. Okay, this is too good. You called in sick to work for bleeding out your ass. I mean, that's gold right there, right? So he's, well, I want 15%. I'm like, you want 15% of it? Let me do the math real quick. 0. Perfect. Here you go. That's easy to do. Not a problem. You know, okay, that's, you know, give me 15%. I said, how about this? If we ever make it, what am I saying? If I make it, I'll give you a fake title in the company. You'll be like, used latex salesman. And you'll get maybe 1% of everything I do. So that's still $10,000 if I make $1 million. So don't bitch about it. So, and that same day we talked about that. This is totally like, why did they even put this shit together on this album? Who would waste the time? So then this is terrible. Anyway, so then the other one is, since we're on a coworker rant, we got a new guy, and I don't know how long he's going to be with us. He just doesn't get stuff over and over again. And I found out that he dates a blind gal. And I so badly want to ask him, like, what does she see in you? But I just can't. It's too hard. So there's that. Here we go. Anyway, so that's like I say. Now we're really naming names. So my buddy went ahead. We worked at 2 places together, like I said. And when we first worked at the one place, there was a gal who worked there. She maybe weighed $125 soaking wet, and pretty good looking. And let's now fast forward however many years that's been, and she had 2 kids with the one guy that we knew from the one place, and this other person showed up. I didn't even recognize until she got out of the truck, and then she started talking. I had to look, and I went, so and so. Didn't even recognize it. She rounded out a little bit, you could say, but she looked like she was real puffy in the face, from what I remember. She's in her 33 kids later, so that's a little bit to life. And I was telling my buddy, I said, hey, that was so-and-so, the blonde that was standing out I was talking to. He says, no kidding. Someone should tell her she's allergic to dick. She's swollen up a little bit. I was like, wow, that's I'm writing down on that one. So there's that. And then the other, here, I guess this is the only safe part of this whole set. So where I work, we sell wood stoves. Woo! Yeah! And you're talking to the top salesman here. Well, I'm talking, you're listening. I should say, you're listening to the top salesman here. So if anyone wants a wood stove. No, but we sell one that it's also a wood stove cooker. It's a cook stove. And my wife looks at us, oh, we should get that. Stove? And I went, well, yeah, we could get that. And she said, we should get that and we can get rid of the electric stove. And I thought, well, now, have to cut, I said, well, who's going to cut wood year round and get it all the time and all this other stuff? And she says, well, that's what you're for. I said, so you want to get rid of the electric oven and I have to then do all this so you can cook on it, which would be delicious. Don't get me wrong. The reward would be worth it. But I looked at her and I said, well, we still have a fucking dishwasher. So they'll have that, but anyway, all right, well, that was it. Those were the throwaways. That was the quota album, as they call them. So, all right, thanks for kind of listening, everyone. Have a good night.
Hell yeah, keep it going for Cody, everybody. That was great. I like those 2 personally. I can speak from my experience. When you find those odds and ends to sets and you kind of throw together some stuff, you might find some gems in there. I like what you're doing up there. It's good.
Have you considered lighting the dishwasher on
Very
fire?
cool.
Yeah.
So it can
like I said, there's still room on the sign-up sheet, but we're going to move